Hi.
Hi.
Before I start this interview, are you comfortable with me asking questions relating to your mental health?
Yes, I am.
Okay, let's begin. Where are you from?
So, I am from Egypt, and I was born and raised there actually.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until 3 years ago that I moved here in the UK.
Okay. How old are you?
I just turned 21 years old actually, like 2 weeks ago.
Happy birthday. How often do you use social media?
I mean, every single day. As a Generation Z, we always use social media.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know anyone who suffers from mental illnesses?
Yes, actually, a couple of my friends, I would say.
If you don't mind me asking, do you know what the mental illnesses are?
Just mainly anxiety and depression.
Okay, this is like a little bit of a tough question. Do you personally suffer from any mental illnesses?
I do believe that I do have anxiety attacks every now and then. I think that is one of the a struggle that I face on a daily basis. So yes.
Do you think with your anxiety, do you believe that on Instagram it's represented well? Like, do you see a lot of progress posts or inspirational posts that help you improve your mental state?
I mean, yeah, with Instagram's algorithm, it's just all about you. If you love to follow like inspirational quotes and stuff like that, then yes, I think in a way it is a very nice way to tackle mental health. However, sometimes Instagram can also get toxic, considering with how much social comparison we face on a daily basis.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are your outtake effects of Instagram on like an everyday life type of way?
I personally do not prefer using Instagram. Like, I try not to use Instagram every day, since has been a very heavy weight on me. But at the same time, it's a very nice platform to just keep, socializing with my friends and just keeping up to date with posts and trends on the internet.
If you're comfortable with answering this, how do you think Instagram affected your mental health? Do you think it affected it in a positive way or negatively, or like kind of in the middle?
I would say kind of in the middle. Like I said earlier, it's a nice platform to just, enjoy entertainment and just being up to date with trends and fashion and whatever you are inspired with. But at the same time, it could be also toxic due to the amount of social comparison and all of that. So it can take a heavy toll on the person.
As you said before, you suffer from anxiety.
Yes.
Do you follow any anxiety-based accounts on Instagram?
I tend to not really follow any anxiety-based accounts on Instagram, mainly because I feel like, it's not very reliable content to follow. You don't know who's posting what and who's saying what. So I'd like to read books instead. So yeah, it's just never really been a thing for me.
Okay, and lastly, as an Egyptian living in the UK, do you see the way that each culture tackles mental health differently?
Oh yes, when I came here, it was a very I faced a very cultural shock.
Yeah.
Because back in Egypt, it's very unlikely for someone to talk about mental health because of the culture and everything. Whereas in the UK, it's more open and people are more open about their feelings and are more aware about mental health, and it's just very considerate about each other.
Okay.
So.
Yep. Thank you so much, and I really appreciate you taking the time
Thank you
for the short interview. Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Hiya.
Hi.
Before we start this interview, I just want to make sure you're okay with me asking questions about your experience with mental health.
Yes, I'm fine.
All right. Where are you from?
I'm from Hong Kong, but I came here to study university 5 years ago.
Here as in where?
UK.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 20 years old now.
How often do you usually use Instagram?
Basically every day. Like the first thing I wake up is like use Instagram.
Okay. Do you know anyone who suffer from any mental illnesses?
Some of my friends suffer from like depression and anxiety.
If it's all right with you, with me asking, do you personally suffer from any mental illnesses?
Luckily, I'm not.
So, in a general, what are your observations on how Instagram is approaching mental health?
I think actually they have a lot of like ads or like pages of like accounts of Instagram actually talks about like mental illness and actually like provide you a link to like certain clinic to help you with mental illness.
What are your current outtake on the effects that like Instagram has on someone's everyday life?
Current outtake on
like how do you think they would like using Instagram? How do you think it affects an everyday life usage?
Using Instagram everyday life.
Yeah, like if you use it's okay, we could skip the question. If you're comfortable, how has Instagram affected your mental health or like in general, since you say you don't you're not affected like by any mental illness?
I know that like some of my friends who suffer from mental illness, when they're on Instagram, they kind of cheer them up a little bit when they saw like some memes and like relating to mental illness. They would be like, "Oh, like that's
okay.
me."
Yeah. As someone who currently lives in the UK, do you like see Instagram's algorithm increasing with the amount of posts you see about mental health, or do you not see any mental health posts at all?
Sometimes I see a few like mental health posts, but not quite a lot, like compared to like my friends who have suffered from mental illness.
Okay. If it's okay with me asking, what type of mental like health posts do you see? Do you see like photographs or videos or like trends, for example?
Mainly photographs, like mainly memes to be fair.
Okay, memes. Thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time for this short interview.
Thank you.
Bye. Hi, before I start this interview, I just have to make sure that you are aware that this interview will be based on your mental health and we'll have to be talking about it. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay, so where are you from?
I'm from the UK.
How old are you?
I'm 20.
How often do you use social media?
About 12 hours a week.
Do you know anyone who suffers from mental illnesses?
Yep.
If it's all right to ask, what are the illnesses they suffer from?
Depression, anxiety, paranoid schizophrenia, etc.
Okay, if it's okay with you, do you personally suffer from any mental illnesses?
I don't think so.
What are your observations in today's world on how Instagram is tackling mental health?
Can you repeat the question?
What are your observations on how Instagram is tackling mental health?
I think that Instagram is a widely used platform, and when depression and anxiety were trending, I think that there was a lot of information on Instagram about that.
So it's more of like a description of the mental illness.
Yeah.
Okay. What is your outtake on the effects of Instagram and on like your everyday life? So like how do you think Instagram affects your everyday life?
Not that much.
How so, if I may ask?
Well, Instagram can be used in many different ways. For me, I don't really center it around my life, whereas many people do. So I mainly use it for messaging people rather than looking at content.
Okay. What type of content do you see on your Instagram? Do you see anything relating to mental health?
Not at the moment
Not at the
much.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate you taking your time for this short interview. Hiya.
Hi.
I'd just like to confirm that this is a digital call due to destination restrictions.
Yes, it is.
And I'd like to confirm with you that you are okay with talking about your mental health, as this research is based on mental health.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. Where are you from?
I'm from Egypt.
How old are you?
I'm 19 years old.
How often do you use social media?
A lot. It's one of my favorite pastimes.
Okay. Do you know anyone who suffers from a mental illness?
Yes.
If it's alright with you to ask, may I ask what mental illnesses are you aware of?
I'm aware of depression, anxiety, ADD, ADHD, BDP, which is a recently learned about.
Yeah. Okay. What do you personally suffer from any mental illness?
Yes, I do.
What are your current observations on how Instagram is tackling mental health?
Instagram is a very big platform, and many people on that platform is starting to try raising awareness on mental health issues.
Mm-hmm. What type of content do you see on Instagram relating to mental health?
I follow one guy who talks about ADD in a very fun way to help people learn and understand it.
Mm-hmm.
I follow a lot of pages that offer explanations on what depression is like and solutions to how to deal with them. Same goes for anxiety.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What is your insight on the effects of Instagram in one's everyday life?
That depends on the content that they view.
Can you extend on your answer more?
If you use it as a method of growth and learning, there will be a positive effect of on the person who is using the platform.
Mm-hmm.
But if you use it as entertainment or as a tool for comparison, it will be a detriment to your life.
Okay. I'm also aware that you currently live in the UK. As an Egyptian living in the United Kingdom, how is the tackling of mental health on Instagram different?
It's very different to Egypt. The people here are very open about mental health, which is not something you see in Egypt. In Egypt, it's viewed as a kind of shame, and you're still seen as crazy if you have a mental health illness. So there aren't people going to therapy or trying to improve themselves. Here, it's very different. Everyone is really open about it, and people encourage other people to go to therapy and go work on their mental health issues.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for giving me your time and listening to this interview. Have a nice day. Bye.